The greenhouse is a sculptural installation that I started in 2004. It's a very large piece measuring 8 feet wide, 12 feet long, and almost 7 feet high. And it is a structure that is a sealed chamber that is supposed to recreate the idea of an atmosphere. The purpose of this is to create within the chamber a simulation or recreation of, we would say, the pollution of the atmosphere by human sources. So at one point, at a location on the box, smoke from a smog machine enters the sealed chamber and creates the illusion of fog or smog being deposited in the atmosphere. The bottom of the box is aerial photographs of the Los Angeles basin. And the smoke or the fog that enters the atmosphere is linked up symbolically to another function of greenhouse, which is the real-time reading of the actual pollution moment by moment in the LA basin. The greenhouse dials up a website and reads from the website the levels of 4 major pollutants. And while you're watching the smog enter the atmosphere, you're also looking at the readings of the level of pollutants. The smog entering the atmosphere is a symbolic gesture. The pollutant readings are real. They are the actual pollutant levels. So the effect is a combining of this symbolic or metaphoric recreation of pollution with a literal or real-time representation or reference to actual pollution. That is to say, that the moment that one is standing in the box one is, or in front of the box one is actually encountering what the actual pollutant levels are in the atmosphere. And at the same time, there is this theatrical presentation going on in front of you, a recreation of pollution. The purpose of this was to try to raise the issues of the problems that underlie or underscore the pollution of our environment and why these problems are so intractable. I tried to use this relationship of literal and representation. I'll say literal signifiers, and that is the pollutant readings, and representation, which is the smog being produced by the smog machine, to show a dichotomy or a fracture in our understanding of nature and culture, that our social ideas of nature and culture are polarized, and that this polarization are at the bottom of the reason why we don't seem to be able to solve the problems of pollution. So it is using sort of the conditions and problems of artistic representation to amplify a social and political critique. The modifications that I want to install is because I had felt that the polarization of nature and culture wasn't adequately represented in earlier versions of the work. I wanted to figure out ways of intensifying that polarization. So the changes that I want to install hopefully will accomplish this intensification, which then will intensify the critique. And those changes are that instead at the bottom of the box having a photograph of the LA basin, we're creating models of existing smokestacks that through research we'll find the smokestacks from a site that has actually been cited for pollution violation, and rebuild these smokestacks and put them in the box and have the smog emit from the mouths of these smokestacks. Also, there's another device in Greenhouse that allows you to see the readings of pollutant levels. That's a computer that's attached to a monitor. And there's a cycle here. One is, at one point, you're looking at a wallpaper of flowers. And another point, when the pollutants are being read, you can see the website dialed up and appear on the screen. So in this part, I want to replace the wallpaper with a series of visual images of factories that are essentially belching out pollutants. And in this general attempt at creating a greater level of theatricalization, because I believe that this would intensify the debate. It's very important that this object really undertake the political critique. And at the moment, I don't think it does it adequately, and I think these changes will. So this makes me very excited to make this attempt. I want to thank you for listening to my explanation, and I am grateful for any contributions that you might make to the project.